Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Today I'm going to be trying out the Sanchez Nation ship called the Succubus in a T2 Electrical Abyss. So I've been actually considering to use the Succubus a lot actually in the Abyss, but I've never actually really tried it. The Phantasm can actually work, and the good thing about the Sanchez Nation ships, such as the Phantasm or Succubus like I'm running now, is that it's Afterburner. It goes really fast. You can see here, look, if I use my Afterburner, 1.7k a second. That's almost MWD speeds with the signature radius of a tiny frigate, like 35 meter signature radius. And we are using, oh wait, we get a little bit extra signature radius from the Solidifier, but it's hardly anything. We're going active tank, and the good thing about active tanks is also not only that you get lots of EHP per second, you also get a pretty small signature radius, at least if you compare it to the buffer tank, because shield extenders can increase your signature radius quite a bit. We obviously are increasing it a tiny bit from this, but it's only like 3 meters, so I don't think it'll make much of a difference. So this is actually kind of like a worse version of the Retribution, because I don't think it has as much tank as the Retribution, and also the DPS is a bit lower. You can see here with Multifrequency we have 225. Let's see now, Aurora we have the 130, so the Retribution has 200 DPS I think with the Aurora, so it's quite a bit less, but I think we'll probably be able to pull through. At least I want to test it out. At least I'm going to test her because it makes us buy things for free, so we'll buy some agitated electrical filaments and we'll try this out. An alternative could be that I could use maybe pulses, but I don't know, because the thing is, it's important to have a bit of range in the Abyss. You want to be able to kite, but then again, there's not really any reason to worry too much, because we're able to avoid damage so easily due to our tiny signature radius, and also how we're so damn fast with the Afterburner. Also, we could probably even get better speed with the blinged out Afterburner. I'm just using the basic Tech 2, Tech 1, Tech 1 Afterburner. You can see here 1mn Monopropellant. Go to the safe site and warp there. It's actually the first time I think I'm using a frigate Abyss on the test. Actually, I've mostly been testing out the basic Tech 1 ships, and I may as well just do it in Tranquility because those ships are so cheap. But the Succubus actually cost quite a bit more. I think it looks like an interesting looking ship as well. It looks a bit like a Beetle actually. It's the first time I'm actually flying this ship. I've never actually flown this ship on Tranquility or any at all actually. But I think it's one of the better looking Sanchez Nation ships. I think it looks a bit better than the Phantasm. I just like the look of it. I think it looks like a beetle or some kind of insect of some sort. Okay, we need to get 3 electrical filaments, so I'll get that 1 second. Okay, so we got some filaments actually, and you can see here that there's some infiltrators here, and the reason they're here is because I actually died once. So once I was AFKing here when I was taking a screenshot for a thumbnail in Anguilla that I was using for testing out the ship, and a golem came here and just wrecked my face so hard. So you can see some of my drones just left there from before. I got wrecked so hard. I remember, I think he used cruise missiles or maybe even torpedoes actually, so I died really quickly. Like my whole shield just went away in 1 second. It was a fun little experience right there. I thought I was actually gonna have a fighting chance, but unfortunately no, the Gila is just terrible in terms of fighting a Tech 2 battleship. Okay, rogue drones. Rogue drones are easy. Rogue drones are easy peasy. A good thing about the Succubus is that the Succubus has a bonus to tracking. So not only is it really fast with its AB, it's also got really good tracking. This makes it so you can kind of cruise around pretty easily and always hit. It's hard to not hit stuff with the Succubus. You start shooting here. You see here we're applying pretty well. You see we're just hitting everything. No big issues, and we could have actually also used potentially like a booster that improves the tracking as well. That would have also been a pretty good thing. Actually, I'll switch over real quick to the Imperial Navy Standard because we're quite close. Let's see now, 70 kilometer range. This is a perfect range for the Imperial Navy Standard. I like the 3 ammos or types I like carrying. I like carrying Multifrequency, Imperial Navy Standard, and Aurora. Those, in my opinion, are very good ammo types to have if you're flying beam based ships, because they offer like a good medium distance, and I don't like having too many ammo types because then you get confused, especially in stressful situations. Just the Multi-frequency to blast away at close range with the highest DPS, Aurora to kite, and then you got a bit of an in between, which is the Imperial Navy Standard. The reason I don't go for Gleam is because Gleam does tiny bit more DPS. There's like a really tiny bit more DPS. I think it's like 2% more, so it's like hardly any difference. And then also Gleam has a lot shorter range than Multi-frequency, as well as worse tracking. So I prefer not to use Gleam. Gleam does not seem to be that optimal, at least for at least for the light beam lasers. I don't know about medium beam lasers, maybe it's a bit better there. So oh, we're taking a bit of shield damage actually. Oh, that's not nice. We want to Kai a bit more actually. Ace Face, come on, Kai a bit more, man. You need a kite. We also actually got these blast needles. Oh, do you see that EM resist? Oh, that's scary EM resist right there. We didn't even have any spark needles actually. They had blast needles, and that should be the best one because they do very little damage. So if we have any spark needles, then we have to take them out straight away because we've got tiny amounts of EM resistance actually. EM resistance is horrible. And it's making actually pretty good time actually. You know, we're already almost at 3 minutes, and that's pretty good for T2 in this ship. It's not that expensive actually. I think the Succubus, like this whole fit probably cost like I think 70 mil, so it's not that expensive. Though probably for this price range you'd probably just want to go for Retribution, to be honest. But the Retribution on the other hand has a lot higher skill requirements, so you'll have to have a lot more skills to be able to fly. At least we could. The Succubus only needs level 3 skills to be able to fly it, and it's not really that punishing by not having them at level 5. I mean, it is really good to have level 5, that's why I have, but you don't need to have it. It's not like with the Retribution where you have to have a Mar frigate to level 5 to be able to fly. Okay, blast needle. Get wrecked, kid. Get wrecked. Okay, let's go to the next conduit. So 3 minutes, good time, good time. Less than 10 minutes, that's really nice. I hope we... I'm curious to see how it'll be when it comes to the battleship waves, because they're probably going to take quite a long time actually with how little DPS we do. We could have also used a booster with Guristas, like at the Pirate Lancer booster. It will give us a bit of extra DPS bump, you know, so that we go through those kind of waves a lot quicker. But I just want to use no boosters. I prefer to not use boosters if you know me well, because I don't like to have to rely on boosters, only if it's really like necessary. But I prefer to not have to have that extra cost to be able to run them. Okay, so we've got a bunch of these Lucid guys here, and I don't think it'll be much of an issue. We've got also Gigajoules as well, 16 Gigajoules, that's really nice. Okay, let's switch over to Aurora so we can get some hits in just before we get into range. Okay, we should be able to get some soon. There we go, boom, boom, boom. Okay, we'll switch over to standard after this one. We'll keep it range at standard range. Okay, we're missing a bit now. It could actually be maybe worth to actually go to the Deviant Automatic Spreads, because I think these guys have missiles. Yeah, they do have missiles and they'll get shot down, but we're probably not taking any damage with the missiles anyway because we're so fast. Actually, maybe we are because of how they are using obviously small missiles. Oh no! Did you see that shields? Oh, that shields. They're doing EM damage. You can see that thermal EM damage. They're doing a lot of damage right there. That was a bit scary. Now I was going to use the Aurora actually. Aurora. I think there is actually a better way to do this. I'm not sure, but I have seen people actually use the Succubus, and I think it's probably I'm doing something wrong here. Like I'm using the Dread Guristas shield booster. It's not at all that great. It's better than the Tech 2 though. That's why I'm using it, but it's still not at all as great as the actual blinged out the faction variant. It's a lot better. Ooh, just scary damage right there. But the Aurora, okay, we can actually switch ammo because this guy is really close. Keep moving, keep moving. The good thing also about the Afterburner, I think, is that we have like a good acceleration, so we'll be able to make swift turns pretty easily. We'll be able to shoot this guy now, completely missing. Aurora, okay, lock up everyone else. Could have maybe actually gone with the auto targeting system as well. That would have potentially been worth it. Oh, no, 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 no! Overheat this stuff. Overheat this stuff. Overheat this and this, please. We have to get out of range now. That is a bit scary right there. We're overheating so much actually. We're not even hardly taking. Okay, never mind. We're taking a lot of heat damage. Okay, just want to be a bit careful right now. And it's really nice. You can see how this tracking is so good. I'm always applying damage, even though the damage is not so good. I'm applying really good damage. So that is actually a really nice thing about the Succubus. You can just you don't have to worry, because with the Retribution, even though you're using small guns, you still have to take into consideration that you can out-track yourself if you make sharp turns or if you make sudden movements, and that can make it so that you miss a lot of shots. In fact, that's what happens a lot actually, and that's why actually a friend of mine said that you should actually use the tracking drug, because it just makes it so much better. Without them, that it makes it quite hard to hit with the Retribution's light beam lasers as well. In the Succubus, it doesn't really matter because it's got a tracking bonus, so it's just like, what the heck, whatever, I'm just gonna fire away. Okay, let's use Multifrequency now. What the heck, why are they doing so much damage? Oof. You see this damage? I thought I was going to tank. There's just 4 little measly frigates. Oh, I have to get out of range. Oof. overheat the Afterburner a little bit. Aurora. Yeah, we're gonna have to kite for the rest of the site. I hope we don't burn out anything actually. Oh, yeah, that was scary right there. Oh, we almost died. That's also a good thing about the Succubus is that it's got very good escape potential with how fast it is. So I think even if I get webbed, I'll probably be able to outrun the webbers actually, because of how fast it is. Even if I do get webbed, I'll probably go 1k a second, and I'll be able to outspeed or outrun the person who's webbing me. Okay, I don't have enough range with that guy. We're gonna go for this guy over here. You have to really target manage these things a lot actually, and it's quite annoying because you have to wait until the cycle's over, so you have to just remember what you're going to switch to. Something I think is just hard to keep an eye on all the time. Okay, we're taking more damage now. Damage is insane from these guys. I do not think this will actually work well. Actually, I probably could have benefited from having a type of shield boosting module for my EM resistance, because my EM resistance is just, I think this is what's causing me to get wrecked here. If I have a EM resistance module, then I will probably do a lot better actually, because it really helps these guys who are doing EM damage. They're just going to annihilate me. And I even think that the Ephialtis actually do a bit of EM damage. I remember that time when I used the Onyx, I checked and I actually saw that the Ephialtis that killed me did do EM damage. So even though EM damage I think was one of our lower resistances, it was still large damage type by the Ephialtis. And Ephialtis, unlike these guys, will have a lot easier time in doing damage to me. Not because of their signature radius, it's because the Ephialtis they have actually a lot longer range, so they'll be able to hit me. And these frigates right here, it's very easy to just out kite them like the way we're doing right now. Oh, maybe, I don't know, maybe the signature radius of the bigger missiles from the bigger guns of the Ephialtis, maybe they'll actually negate their increased DPS. I'm not sure actually. Why are we not doing any damage? Please do damage. There we go. Boop. Just lobbed him off the grid. Okay, I'll go back to the transfer conduit, and you know, I'm not taking the loot cache combo with that because we're in test server. It would probably be good that I do it just to simulate an actual test, but I can't really be bothered, to be honest, especially since we're such a close cut. You know, usually when I would try to get the loot caches, because if it's a type of ship I want to plan farming, and so far this fit doesn't seem like it's going to be at all able to farm these sites, and so it's merely a challenge just to see if this can actually survive. And that's really the entertainment I get, at least from doing these kinds of runs. So we'll go to the transfer conduit, speed up Succubus. You know, funny enough, this is actually almost the exact same speed I go with MWD on the Gila. So the Gila I usually uses an MWD, and it goes about 1.7k a second. So basically, with an Afterburner, we're going the same speed. That's really cool. We're just so fast, so agile, and at the same time so small as well. So we can out-track almost everything apart from those frigates. So I'm curious how this is going to go. This looks a bit scary because of the Vedmak, but I feel like we'll maybe be able to out-track the Vedmak. Okay, Aurora. Tangling is going to go first because they're the only ones who can actually get us. Just keep at range. Now we're going to go switch over to standard because they're getting really close. I don't want to go to multi-frequency because it'll be a bit too close. They'll probably just swing back and forward, and you know, maybe wreck me in that way because I'll not be able to damage. It looks like he's maybe even going to get out of range of our standard. Actually, no, we've got 17 coming to range. So that's good. Okay, he's trying to web me, but it seems like I'm keeping pretty decent range actually. If we maybe take a little bit of a little turn to the side, see if that helps a little bit. Oh, we're taking a little bit of damage now. Also, a good thing about the Triglavians is that they don't do EM damage, so it'll not be too much to worry about in that regard. We're going to attack them pretty well, but it's still pretty scary because we're in a frig, obviously, so we're not going to be like a really mega tanked. Obviously, it's that's also one trouble thing with using the frigates in the Abyss when it comes to the Triglavians, because the Triglavians have so much E-War, they're easily able to get to you, and they're so fast with the damage. Ooh, the Vedmak is doing a lot of damage. Ooh, get out of range of the Vedmak, please. Overheat the gun. You're going to use our overheating AB. I hope that doesn't just get me wrecked, because we've got... Okay, you know what? We're going to have to orbit this guy at 500. I don't think there's really much more we can do here. Stop it and orbit, because I think we are actually able to outpace or outmaneuver this Vedmak. I think he is missing us, because if it was able to hit me, then he'll be doing a lot more damage. I think, yeah, his harrowing Wedmag was missing me completely. Even though we're webbed, we're still out maneuvering him. So the reason I am going to move out now is not because I think he'll hit me, or it is because the thing is, he's spooling up now. Even though he's missing, he's still spooling up. The problem with that, if he lands a wrecking shot and he's spooled up, I'm gone. I am dead. Like, you see that? Or the glance off. Did you see how much damage that glance off shot did? Imagine if it was a wrecking shot. I would have been one shot. I would have been dead if that was a wrecking shot. But now you can see he's not at all being spooled up because of how I'm outside of his range. So that's good. That's good. That's good. So now what we do here is we just kite this guy at about 25 kilometers. He'll never be able to shoot me because his entropic disintegrators do not work outside of 25 kilometers. And we'll then shoot him down with Aurora. So that's what we're going to do right here. You can see here, yellow box means he's targeting us, but he's not shooting because he can't shoot. His weapons do not work when I'm farther away than like 22 kilometers or something like that. So this is really a tip, you guys, for Vedmax. Just remember, they have a range of about 22 kilometers. Just keep outside that, they will not be able to do damage to you. So that's why it's also really important to take out a lot of the anchoring and tanglings, because they can make you able to be within that 22 kilometer range, and that can be an issue. So now, actually, I want to just double check that I do not get pushed out of the boundary box because we're like keeping a distance. It's really nice, you know. We can see here we're keeping just we're really able to kite this guy really well. You see, we're perfectly keeping at this range. We're just like matching his speed all the time. Oh, he's actually quite fast. I think he's got an MWD actually. Ooh, but I think he's going like in an orbit, so he goes lower speed sometimes. Okay, we're gonna give it a tracking boost as well. That's pretty interesting. Do we get a range from it? No, we don't actually get range. I thought that was a range for a second because I thought I was using standard. No, I was not using standard. What is this over here? Is this automatic? No, it's multi-range tracking behind. That's what's actually giving us this tracking bonus here. So that'd be really dangerous if we were orbiting like we were doing it before, and he had this multi-body tracking pylon. Probably he would be able to hit me, even though I was orbiting really close. I mean, maybe he wouldn't because the Succubus is just so damn small and fast. So probably it will be still able to outmaneuver it, but with a web fire, and especially with a lot of luck from the Vedmak, probably will be able to kill me, because I noticed that Triglavian weapons in general, they have really good tracking. So this is like we're exploiting the weakness of Triglavian weapons, that they just simply don't work at this range. So he's not able to do any damage at all. There's no way he can do damage at this range because the weapons just turn off when you're outside of the optimal range. But if it was a normal type of weapon, then he would probably be able to, maybe if he was lucky, land a wrecking shot at this range, because wrecking shots have an unlimited range. But since the Triglavian weapons do not work at this range, we're exploiting that. The only thing is that but the thing is that even though there's a weakness of the weapons turning off, there's also good points of the Triglavian weapons, the entropic disintegrators, that they have really good tracking. So it's very hard for me. Like, usually you would be able to orbit a cruiser and out-track its guns, it's a frigate, but it's quite hard to do that, especially on a Vedmak, because of how the weapons on the Vedmak track really well. So we finished a T2 electrical just barely in a Succubus. So that didn't go at all as smoothly as I thought. I would have hoped it to go a bit smoother, but you know, that's what I get from testing. We're not even using that bling fit, we're just using Tech 2 stuff. Got a bit of a damage control actually that helped us. Probably if we didn't use the damage control, I can imagine we probably would have been dead actually, because they provide a large amount of buffer. Let's see how much buffer we have actually without it. So okay, we get like a 1k EHP, so maybe we would have actually died. You know, who knows? Maybe we would have actually died from that if we didn't use the damage control. That's also a bad thing with the buffer, or not the buffer, but the active tanks, that we have very low buffer. So stray shots, or if we make for bad moves, then we can't really recover that well from it, because how it maybe is, the enemies have a potential to like one-shot us, especially if there's wrecking shots. We didn't get wrecking shots here, so in actuality this Succubus is pretty lucky to be alive, because I don't think I would have had the ability to take wrecking shots. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Probably going to do more testing later. I'll catch you guys later.